previous SBA we had, I made some slight changes to the system. So we will log in with our username and our password, which is always helping us to protect our database. So let's log in and see the new updates. You're welcome and have a nice day, as we have on our screen. So this is basically the home page of the database system. This one is for the primary school. We have a similar system for the GHS. There is only slight difference between the primary and the GHS. There's some change of subject names. So when you get a system, you have to set the number of times open for term 1, term 2, term 3. At the end of vacation, you check through the register and you see the number of times open. The system contains term 1 to term 3 database. So it's for the whole academic year, term 1, term 2, term 3. When you purchase the system, you are going to be given a copy. Then you duplicate it for the other subject teachers or the other class teachers for the primary side to manage it themselves. So from term 1 to term 3, you can have all the database in one system. First of all, let's look at this button where we'll be entering our student's name. You can insert your school crest. This is my logo. If you want to change the logo, you just have to click on the Insert School Crest button. Then a window will open for you to insert a logo from your computer. So when you go to the Enter Student Name, let's see what we have there. The Enter Student Name brings you to a window, whether you are going to deal with term 1, term 2, or term 3. So if you are dealing with term 1, you just have to click on the Enter Student Name in term 1. So Enter Student Name. Then this is where you are going to have the student name. We have some names in the system. So for our lesson, we are going to use these names we have in our system. It's the same for the rest of the terms. When you go to term 2, we are going to have the same system. Let's go back to the home page and see the student's name for term 2. You can just click on this button, term 2. You have this subject view for the term 2. You click on the Enter Student Name and Index Number. When you come to term 2, there is a button here for you to import term 1 names. Should in case during term 2 you made new admission or you had new students in your class, you can make changes in the names, or the names you type for term 1, you can just click on this button to copy the names from term 1 and it will be replaced in the names you have in term 2. When you go to term 3 too, the same thing works with that one. So in term 2, we can add student picture to our database, which later will reflect on our report card. So let's go and add the pictures first. You click on the Add Student Pictures button, then it will take you to the window where we are going to add our student pictures. The pictures we are going to add should go in line with the names we have in the system. So this is term 2. You can see we have term 2 here. The first person on the list is Enoch. When you go back to where we entered the student's name, you click on this button. It will take you back to term 2 student's name. So at this student's name, the first person we have is Enoch. So when you go to the picture sheet, the first person will be Enoch. Before you enter the pictures, make sure you have the pictures on your system, which is a passport picture size. Then you have a list of the names as you have typed into the database. So when you click on this button, Add Pictures, a window will open for you to specify the number of pictures you want to have or you want to add. If you have 50 students in your class, meaning you should type in 50. But for now, our lesson, let's type in 5. So you click on OK. The system then opens your computer for you to choose a location where you have your pictures. So this is where I have my pictures on my computer. As I said earlier, you take note of the names. The first person, you select the picture for the first person in order as it is typed into the system. So let's select any picture. Since we entered 5, the system is going to run 5 times for you to select 5 pictures before you can see all the pictures in the database. So meaning if you type in 60, the system will run 60 times for you to select picture 6 before it can appear in the database. So our first picture is selected. You click on OK. It tells you that uploaded 1 picture. You click on OK, then the second picture will be uploaded. So you check the name. Whose picture are you uploading? So you check the name according to how you've named your pictures. Then you choose the second person. You click on OK. 2 pictures uploaded. So in the command, we specified 5 pictures. We wanted student pictures of 5. So 5 pictures uploaded. When you click on OK, then you can see that the pictures have come. These are the 5 pictures we selected. So if you are entering 100 students, or if you have 100 students in your class, you should type in 100 so that the system can run 100 times to insert the student pictures. So this is what is going to appear on the report card. Now let's go back to our home button. We are still dealing with term 2. So at the home page, click on the term 2, then it gives you the term 2 subject sheet for you to select from. On the term 2 subject sheet, we have the tabs which will take you to any location you want to go on the system. Now some schools do offer French from the primary school, others don't offer French. And the lower primary too, some schools offer computing at the lower primary, others don't offer computing at the lower primary. So the system was designed with French and computing. If you want to use for the lower primary, you just have to take off the computing subject if your school doesn't offer computing. So this button here is remove or add computing from the database, and this one too is delete or add French or computing subject tab. This button takes off computing subject from the database, and the last button here takes off either computing or French tab. This is the French tab, which will take you to the French sheet, and this is the computing tab, which will take you to the computing sheet. So if you don't offer French or computing, you have the option to delete the tabs. You can bring it back if you want to offer those subjects. So let's try and see. We have the French and the computing. Let's take one out of the system. So if you are using for the lower primary and don't offer computing, just click on this button, delete or add French or computing subject tab. You click on that. A pop-up window appears. Do you offer French or computing? So enter 1 if you offer French. Enter 2 if you don't offer French. So if you don't offer French, let's enter 2. This is the French tab. Let's take note of it. The moment we enter 2, the French subject tab will be hidden for selection. Okay, so you can see the French tab is no more. The French tab will take you to the French sheet. So since you don't have the French tab, there's no way you can go to the French sheet on the database, because the database is locked and protected. Not everything that the user should see. So that's the French tab. You can bring it back by clicking on the same button, then enter 1 if you offer French. This time around, we want to offer French, so you just have to enter 1 to bring the French tab back. So the French tab appears. It applies to computing as well. So in any way, if your school offers a different subject, we can just customize to suit the subject you offer in your school, like Arabic and the other subjects some schools do offer. So let's go and see how the subject sheet looks like. So let's click on French. This is how the subject sheet looks like. It applies to the same look with the rest of the subjects. You have where you enter class test 1, class test 2, your project work, and your group work. This assessment was used during the new curriculum time. So class test 1 is 15, class test 2 15, class test the project is 15, and the group work is 15, which adds up to 60%. Then converts 50, then you get your examination score. So the user only has the opportunity to enter marks within the class range or the class score. You cannot enter marks where you are not supposed to. So you only enter marks at the examination column. So some of the, as I said earlier, some parts of the sheets are protected. If you want to make changes to any name, you can't make the changes here unless you go to where you enter the student's name to make the changes for it to reflect on all the system. Now there is a button here called export or import. You see it on all the subject sheets. So if you are working with the GHS database, for the GHS database, we have different teachers teaching different subjects. So for the GHS, the system or the database is going to be on one dedicated computer. Then you export or extract this sheet for the subject teachers to work on it individually. When they are done, we just have to import the same sheet into the system to do the rest of the calculations. So at the primary school, if you are teaching in basic 6 and you are not the French teacher, maybe you have a particular teacher teaching French, you are not going to give the whole system to the French teacher to work on. You just have to export the French sheet. So let's see how the export works. When you click on the tab, it gives you a pop-up window. Enter 1 to import term 2 French. Enter 2 to export term 2 French. This time around, we want to export the sheet. So you enter 2. You are going to give the exported sheet to the French teacher to work on. You click on yes. Now the system runs in the background and gives you this window. You choose a location where you want to save your exported sheet, which you are going to give into the subject teacher you want to export. So let's choose desktop. It has a default file name, which is French term 2. You can change the name or you can add the name of the teacher you are exporting to. If you don't make any changes, then you're going to have the default name. Then you have to save it. So export successful. Thank you. Now let's go and see the sheet we exported, and let's see how we are going to import it back from the desktop. Now from the desktop, this is the sheet we exported. So let's open it and see how we are going to enter the marks in it. So this is a different Excel. A different Excel has opened in the background. So if you are the same teacher going to use the system for the primary school, the class teacher is the manager of the class. So he manages everything. You don't have to export a sheet to anybody unless maybe you have a different teacher teaching a different subject in your class. So if you are exporting, or if you have been given an exported sheet, you still have to work within your range. That's from the class score. So the first person's mark is 15, 15, 15, 15. Now let us alter the marks and import it back into the system and see how it's going to work. So the subject teacher is only working on his or her subject sheet, not on the main database. So we just altered the marks for the first person, which was 15, 15, 15. Then I changed them to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, including the examination score. So let's save it. You can click on Ctrl S on the keyboard to save it. Or when you are closing it, you get the save as command to save. So we've saved our friend sheet we exported. Now let's check here carefully. The first person marks on the main database is 15, 15, 15, but the sheet we exported, assuming the class teacher has finished entering the marks for the class, let's import it back and see whether the marks are not going to change. So you click on the same button. This time around, you enter one to import. Then you click on OK. Yes. So the same pop-up window opens for you. You choose the location where you saved the sheet. Then you choose that sheet we exported. So this is the sheet. You click on OK. Now there's this information here. The target range in term 2 French sheet already contains data. Do you want to overwrite? Yes, we have to overwrite it to get the new data. If you click on no, you're not going to get the new data. So you click on yes to overwrite it. Now when you export the sheet, you can use the exported sheet on a mobile phone. This is an Excel application. It works on phones as well. So should in any case your teachers don't have access to laptop, for the GHS, you can export the sheet for them. Then they'll fill the marks on their mobile phones, on their smartphones of course. When they are done, they just give you back the file you gave them for you to import it back into the system. So you can use it on the mobile phone as well. So after a few minutes, the imported sheet now comes. So French score imported successfully. You click on OK. So if you watch the video carefully, you can see that we changed the first person's marks, which was 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it has been imported into the system. You don't have to give the whole system to all the teachers to work on. Just extract their subject sheet for them to work on. From here, you can click on the change subject button to bring you back to where you select any subject you want to work on. Now let's go to the assessment sheet. From here, you can click on the assessment sheet, or you can go to the change subject button. You see the assessment sheet, then you click on it to take you to term 2 assessment sheet. Make sure you check the term you are working with. So the assessment sheet gives you the overall performance of the student, the total mark score. You can scroll to the right side. You see the position, the aggregate, and 4 core subjects. At the BEC level, these 4 core subjects are used during placement. The performance of the student for the 4 core subjects are populated here. So this is the assessment sheet. Now on the assessment sheet, we have these buttons. Order of merit. Let's go to the order of merit and see how it works. The order of merit is a sheet where it is going to order the student according to their performance, the first person on the list, as we normally do. Sometimes we take sheets of papers to do this stressfully, but the system is going to do it for you within a microsecond. So when you click on this button, click here to orders and arrange the names according to the first person to the last person, unlike the assessment sheet. So it tells you who was first and who was second based on the total score. This sheet can be printed and pasted on the notice board for schools who wish to do so. When you click on Ctrl P on your keyboard, it gives you the print preview or the printing window for you to print. So this is how the order of merit sheet looks like. You can print this sheet and you paste it on the notice board for students to see their performance after examination. So that's the order of merit sheet. Now let's go back home and see what else we can do. So still working with term 2, let's go and see our term 2 report card. Before that, let's still go to the assessment sheet and see, okay, we have the enter student appraiser. So let's go to enter student appraiser button. This is where you enter the conduct, the remarks, the interest, the attendance, the promoted, and the rest. So the attendance, you have to type them individually according to the number of days the students came to school. And we have promoted or repeated. If you were to be working with term 3, you just have to select from the options. We have some options you can select from, whether promoted or repeated. It applies to the whole student. This shows you the total 4 score of the core subject. So when you go to term 3, you just have to select the options for the student, which will reflect on their report cards individually. If you don't select anything, it will be blank, or what we already have here will appear on the report card. That's what the appraiser sheet is about. When you click on this button, edit appraiser, it takes you to a window where you can type in more of the appraisers, or you can edit the ones we already have here. So these are columns for remarks, conduct, interest, whether promoted or repeated. So you can add in your English. You can add some to it. It will reflect on the appraiser sheet for you to select before it appears on the report card. So when you click on the enter student appraiser, you choose which term are we dealing with. Is it term 1, term 2, or term 3? So term 2 student appraiser button here, you click on it. If you type over there, then it will reflect here for you to select. So let's go to the student report. This is the term 2 student report card. You can see we have the school crest and the picture as well. Now, should in case you are not able to upload pictures of the student, you can decide to replace here where the picture is supposed to be with another logo. These are your school logos. The one at the left side, one at the right side. The school logo, there is a button for you to insert your own logo. So you click on this button, insert head teacher's sign and school logo. When you click on it, it gives you option to choose from. You enter 1 to insert head teacher's signature, enter 2 to insert school logo at the left, enter 3 to insert school logo at the right. So let's scroll down and see this is where the head teacher's signature will appear below the report card. So this is below the report card where the head teacher's signature will appear. So when you select one, it will open a window on your laptop for you to insert the head teacher's signature. Now we want to take care of this. At this moment, we want to display the student pictures. So we have to take care of the logo. So when you click on this button, delete or keep school logo and display student pictures. When you click on it, it asks you a simple question. Do you want to keep logo on your right and ignore student pictures? If you click on yes, meaning you still want to keep the logo on your right, that's where you don't have pictures. So should in case you are not able to insert pictures, then you maintain that. If you click on no, the logo on your right side will disappear for you to see the student picture. So let's click on no. You can see the logo is gone. So when you have student pictures, the right side of the report will be where you are going to have your pictures. So when there are no pictures, you just click on the same button, then another logo will come. So let's select a student without a picture. We inserted only 5. So let's select a student without a picture. So this is a student without a picture, meaning that place is going to be blank, but we can still replace that with another logo. So you click on this button, you click on yes, and the logo appears there. So it is very simple as that. If you don't have pictures, then you have the option to insert in a logo or any other thing you want to insert there for the place not to be blank. So if you're uploading pictures, then you should upload pictures for all your students. You can't upload some and leave some. If you are not uploading pictures, then you leave the system like that. So that's the report card. That's the view of the report card. Let's go to the home page. You can see we have date of vacation here blank and date of reopen here blank. The report card is protected. You can't make any changes here. If you make any changes here, it will never work. The only option you have is where you select the name. As you select the names, everything about that student appears on the report card. The appraiser we entered, the interest and the conduct and the teacher's remarks are going to appear here for each student. That's where we did the appraiser. So if you don't choose any option for the appraiser, then this place will be blank. Let's go and set our reopen date and our vacation date. As I said earlier, you can't type anything on the report card. So let's go back to the home page. There is a button here called click here to set reopen and vacation date. So when you click on that button, it gives you a very nice window. Term 1, Term 2, Term 3. We are dealing with Term 2 at the moment. So Term 2, the reopen date, you just have to type in your reopen date. So if the reopen date for Term 2, let's say is 24th July, you just have to type. Then the vacation date, let's say it was somewhere 6 March. So we've set our reopen and vacation date for Term 2. You click on OK. Now let's go and see Term 2 report card and see the vacation date we just set. You can see the date we typed at the home page has appeared on the report card. If you want to change it, you can make changes to that. So that's how things appear on the report. You can't type on the report card. You just have to do everything and it appears on the report card. Now we have to see how we are going to generate our report. Before that, let's go back to the home page. We have this button called you change the grading system. You can click on this button. This is the grading system that was used to develop the database. If you want to change it, you can change it. You can just type and everything will change. So if you want to change the remarks or the grading system, you come here and you do that as well. Let's go back home. There is a button here for you to click and save your work in case you want to save. Since there are no ribbons on top for you to save, you can use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl S. Or you can click on this button to save. Now you can see at the home page we have a graph. Yes, the analysis. This is the overall performance after Term 1 to Term 3 examination. This is the overall performance of the subject by the student. When you click on this button, view average score, it takes you to the overall assessment from Term 1 to Term 3. How was the student performance for the individual subjects? That's the graph we have at the home page. When you click on this button, it takes you to the home page graph. It tells you that after the academic year, this subject was the subject the student performed well. We have individual terms and their analysis as well. When you go to Term 1, we have Term 1 subject analysis. It tells you the number of pupils who were able to get score within the range of 80 to 100. These small icons here are the zoom icon. You can click on it to zoom, to increase the zoom or decrease the zoom. So this is just a small analysis for you to see the performance of your student. Total student who had marks above 500 and total student who had marks below 500. So you can view the graph by reducing the zoom. So this is the graph of the performance of the student. It applies to all the rest of the terms. Now let's go back to the report card, how we are going to save our report. You click on this button here to save the report card, generate report card to PDF. When you click on it, it gives you a pop-up window. You specify the number of reports to save as PDF. So when you have 50 students in the class, you have to type in 50 to generate 50 reports. Or when you want to print a report card for one student, you just have to click Ctrl P on your keyboard to give you the print window. That's when you are printing for one student, just one student. This for one student. But if you want to print for the whole class, you have to generate the report into PDF before you can go and print. So you click on this button. You click on this button to specify the number of reports you want to print. Let's generate 3 because of time. So you enter 3, you click on OK. Then the system gives you where you want to save your report. You have to choose a location to save the report card. Then you have to create a folder. The report cards are going to save individually according to the students' names. So if you have 70 students, you're going to get 70 individual reports. Now after that, you can combine them into one single file to get one PDF file when you want to go and print. So let's save the report card to desktop. You click on OK. So the system takes some little time and runs to save the report. So depending on the speed of your laptop, within a second, you have all your report cards. Now report cards are finished saving because we saved only 3 report cards. Let's go and see how the report cards were saved. So these are the report cards on the desktop. I didn't create a folder, so we should create a folder so that they all be in one folder. Now let's see how we are going to combine the report card into one single file. So when the report cards save, you are going to merge them into one single file. That's when you want to go and print for easy printing. If you don't have a printer in your school, you can just merge them into one single file. Then you send it to town for printing, which will be easier. The Excel only saves them individually. And I use Adobe Reader or any other PDF software to merge. If you don't have any software of such, you just let me know. Then I'll give you additional copy of the software to merge your report cards after they have been saved. We didn't use any Microsoft merging function. Everything was done with Excel. So that's a sample of the report card, how it is going to look like when you merge them. So basically, this is how the system works. If you want a copy, you contact me at an affordable price. You'll be given a copy for your school where the whole school will benefit. And then additional software you are going to use to merge all your saved PDF into one single file for easy printing. When you are done with everything, there's a logout icon or button here for you to click and log out. So this system is for the primary school, and we have the same system for the GHS as well, and even the KG. If you want, you are going to design a sample of that. For that, we are left with our grade analysis. So let's go to term 2 and let's go to the assessment sheet. You have view marks with grade. This grade analysis tells you the subject and each grade for the examination. So at the GHS level, we normally base on grades. So this gives you the grade analysis for the individual subject and the total aggregate the students are going to have. The total aggregate will reflect on their report cards as well. So this is a grade analysis sheet. It applies to all the rest of the sheet. That's term 1, term 2, and term 3 as well. So thank you very much for paying attention to the system, and I'm hoping to see you get a copy very soon. So we are logged out. Thank you.